NFL record for the worst completion percentage. This is a game you need to win. This is a divisional matchup against a team you should beat. This is how you stack up wins. Hello and welcome back to another episode of i75Live. This is our special Christmas episode. We're not going to have an episode next week.
Busy week.
So we're going to kind of try to wrap everything up into one, talk about some Christmas games. But yes, this will be our special probably the last episode for the year.
Yeah, I think because New Year's Day is technically on a Wednesday, which is when we film.
Yeah, so the next episode that you guys see will be in the new year, next year. So yes, but before we do get into all the topics we do have with college football coming up, NFL, of course, some MLB news, I want to ask Dylan. I know it's kind of on the spot. I didn't tell you I was going to do this. Top 3 Christmas movies. Go.
Elf, Home Alone.
You're a Home Alone guy.
Oh, I love the original Home Alone. That's one of the best movies, especially Christmas movies. And Polar Express.
Okay.
Those are my top 3.
Okay.
I don't think it's debatable either.
Oh, man, I don't know about that. I would say The Grinch is number 1 for me with Jim Carrey. That's 100% my favorite. I am also Griswold's Family Vacation. That movie's a classic with the memes and just with the one-liners from that movie. And then I'm definitely an Elf. I know some people say the Elf is way overrated.
No, it's
but the
great.
Elf is, if you want to talk about a movie with one-liners, I mean, there's just so many good moments in that movie.
Are you serious, Clark?
Yeah. I mean, Christmas Vacation is, maybe it's more of like, depending on how you grow up and depending on what your parents let you watch.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was when you said Christmas movie, I was going for family friendly, so I didn't even consider those movies as options.
They're great movies, though.
They are.
And this is, I mean, everyone, it's probably some variation of all those movies. I've just never really been a Home Alone guy, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Not even the first one? I used to crack up watching that.
It's good, and I'll watch it if it's on, and if it's, but I don't know. I'd rather watch Christmas Vacation or The Elf or, Grinch or whatever.
What about Die Hard? Is that a Christmas movie?
I don't think Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
I've heard that argument so many times.
I don't think it is. But let's get into today's topics. To start it off, there was big news with Conor McGregor fighting Logan Paul.
I feel like this is just news.
And it's a money grab, obviously, because of everything that's happened with McGregor the past couple months.
There's no way this can be real life.
It's just...
What are we living in?
Now, to kind of put it into a full picture for me, though, it really does show how good of a marketer Logan Paul and Jake Paul are.
Yeah.
I mean, they know,
no denying
if
that.
There's anything, they know how to make money, and they know how to get people talking about them. And they never fail to do that.
I mean, people clowned him for coming out with those Lunchable remakes, but no one else did it.
And they're making millions.
Yeah, it wasn't illegal.
His drink, Prime. No one's going to be able to... This is stupid. I mean, it sells out everywhere.
Yeah, little kids love it.
Well, and that's, I truly think, who they're marketing to.
Oh, absolutely.
And
especially
it works.
With the Lunchables, man.
It works. It
does.
Next, so we'll go into the MLB. There were some big trades.
Really
Yankees
big trades.
had another huge one. I also saw that Kyle Tucker
traded from the Astros to the Cubs.
Yes. Yeah. I saw he was in talks with the Yankees, so they didn't. But now it makes sense to why, because Kyle Tucker, Cody Bellinger, they were both lefties, both outfield. They needed to replace Juan Soto.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
that kind of makes sense of why both those guys were probably on their list of the guys they wanted to get.
It's weird that the Cubs didn't at least try to see what, the team would have looked like with Bellinger and Tucker on the team. Because right now I like their Crow something. Their center fielder is really good. Yeah. I think he's been a top prospect for a while, and he's finally gotten called up. And then when the Cubs traded for Kyle Tucker, they were able to keep that other outfielder that they signed out of, I think, Korea, Sia Suzuki, who's also pretty good, very young. But still, I think you can never have too much talent, I would say.
Yeah, nowadays you have to compete. If your goal is to win, World Series and championships, you've got to be able to, I think, load up your rosters the best you can, or else you're just not going to be able to.
I will say on the Yankees side, if Bellinger can play like the Dodgers version of Bellinger a few years ago. I think it's a pretty good trade. You're not going to get Juan Soto production.
You won't.
Like, that's
it's not like you're completely falling off a cliff because so you can
save some money too for elsewhere.
Yeah,
not paying Juan Soto.
And their pitching staff is going to be great. Yep. I think if their pitching plays how they should, they're going to only need to score 4 runs a game to really win most of consistently during the season. Yeah. So I think the Yankees are going to be very good with Bellinger. If I still even think an average Bellinger, they'll still be able to produce and win a ton of games.
I would agree. This next trade kind of broke my heart because this was the only person I really cared about.
Well, you thought they were going to trade this guy at the deadline during the season.
And I mean, they got a good return. I am never a fan of either just why did we not get not a single player that's been called up to the MLB yet? They're all prospects. And yes, they're considered to be good prospects. The White Sox trading Garrett Crochet, who won Comeback Player of the Year last year. I think I'm right. They had an amazing year. First year as a full-time starter.
Just sucked he was on the White Sox. No one really cared.
Yeah, I know. The one bright spot on that team, really. But yeah, traded to the Red Sox, and the Red Sox in return gave us 4 top prospects. So as it stands right now, the White Sox have 6 players in the MLB's top 60 prospect list, and I mean, like I said, it's really just hypotheticals with that. Like, you never know who's actually going to turn out.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's because really, like, sorry, Chris, I can say we'll see for this one because it really is for these prospects. We don't know when that trade is going to make sense for years.
Especially in the
some of these players don't get called up for like 4 or 5 years. It sucks. It sucks because now I have even less of a reason to tune in next season.
Maybe you should become a Cubs fan.
I can't do that. I was born loyal. I can't. That would be too close to home as well. My hands would feel dirty.
Yeah. So another huge thing that did happen over the weekend that I was surprised.
I was too, actually.
Not to say that it wasn't deserving and not to say that it wasn't, valid.
Closest Heisman race since 2009, right? 2008.
Travis Hunter wins the Heisman. Mm-hmm. Did he deserve it?
I think he was a deserving winner, but I think given the situation of that conference championship game and what Janty did, what he's done all year for his team and carrying them to a playoffs, because
bye week, 4th ranked team, regardless of what you think.
They probably win. I don't think it's, far-fetched to say that they win 4 or 5 games without Janty. Plug in even any other college running back but Janty. They don't win as many games, probably don't make the playoffs. But still, Travis Hunter, remarkable season. Yeah. It's something we've never seen before. So it's really hard to argue it against him.
But the Heisman, though, is not the NFL MVP. The Heisman is the best college football player. So that doesn't necessarily mean the best college football player on the best team or on a team that made it to the playoffs.
They both deserved it. This one was really hard to give to either person.
And you saw that because of how close the votes were. Mm-hmm. It just really I think, came down to what you valued more. And more people valued the fact that he played
2 ways, affecting the game on both sides of the ball.
Yes, to where you take away some of his plays that he made on like the Baylor game. For me, I know he talked about it, but if he doesn't make that tackle to force that fumble out of the end zone, they don't win that game.
No.
And then their record looks even worse. And they went 9-3, so their record was pretty good. But I see both sides of it. I also see the people saying, I've never seen a Heisman Trophy winner play in the Alamo Bowl. So that's been kind of funny. But there was a reason why the votes were as close as they were.
Yeah.
I think after, like you said, going into it, if Janty didn't play in that conference championship,
I would have given it
and both of them didn't play, I think I would have voted for Travis Hunter. Mm-hmm. Because Janty played in the conference championship, did what he did, kind of, now 4 seed. Mm-hmm. I think I said it to you, I said it to some of the guys we talk to, that I probably would have voted for Janty because of that.
Yeah.
So they were both deserving, and it was, I was happy that there was respect all the way through. There wasn't, any hatred towards one another. It is what it is, and there's a reason why the voting was as close as it was.
Yep.
The arguments, though, that I saw, like online, was what if he played? What if Janty played in the SEC? Does he run for 2,500 yards? Or does he run for 2,000 yards?
I think he could go for 2,000 still.
If he went over 2,000 and played for a top SEC team, because I could imagine if that was the case,
if they went to an Alabama or Georgia
or something, or even
Texas.
Ole Miss or something like that, I would probably say yes. The fact that he did that in the best conference in the country when it comes for college football, that he would get it. So I do agree with that. I think him playing for Boise, playing where he did, the teams he played, that definitely, I think, probably affected his voting and his, was it actually this impressive or was he just kind of running against?
That being said, I do hope he still beats Barry Sanders' rushing record.
Oh, yeah, it'd be great.
What they play, no, they have a bye week, so they don't play for two more weeks.
They'll either play SMU or
Penn State.
Well, remember, too, Hunter had offers at every SEC school.
Oh, is
that correct?
He was a 5-star recruit coming out of Georgia.
It's not like he couldn't have gone. He chose to follow Deion so he could learn how to be a DB from
think about
the best
that.
DB in NFL history.
Imagine, go back a few years when Deion looked at him and said, "You come play for me, you will win a Heisman."
Yeah. And
I agree.
Spoke it into existence.
And that's...
He has a chance to be the number one
That is,
pick in
again,
the
the power of what Deion Sanders is doing for college football.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this isn't going to be the first time I think he does this to a guy, maybe not winning the Heisman, but a guy of Travis's talent or level, whether that's on both sides of the ball or just one side. I mean, we are going to see him going, hey, look what I just did.
Yep.
I took a kid who had who's a 5-star, had offers everywhere you could possibly think of.
Yeah.
He decided to come to me at a historical black college. We were there for 1 year. Then we went to Colorado. No one's heard of Colorado in the past 20 years when it comes to football.
Hasn't been good.
And look at it now. So this is going to...
They won one game the year before Deion got there.
It's really remarkable of what he's able to do and what like you said, of these kids. If I'm good enough to play for Deion, then
good enough to play in the NFL.
I'm good enough to play in the NFL.
Yeah.
I'm good enough to do this. So it's going to be I think a really cool thing for Deion.
Colorado could turn into not a power. I'm not ruling out that they could become a powerhouse, but I think they make the playoffs next year, no doubt.
I think they win their conference probably, and I also think that Deion will earn a lot more respect.
He deserves it
when his kids are gone.
Yeah,
because I think it's only up from here. I could be wrong, and this could be clipped, and we could look back on it and go, wow, that was...
I'm sure it was planned, like moving to college football once his kids were old enough to play under him.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to do that? But I mean, I don't think that he's planning on leaving after they, dip out.
I don't think so either.
So
I don't think so either. Because I don't think you would be getting a lot of the guys you are if that was your plan.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sure they're asking that question. I would. If I was being recruited from or thinking about transferring or committing or flipping, whatever the case may be, are you going to be here? Because if you're not going to be here, then I'm not even entertaining this.
Mm-hmm.
So that to me is also, kind of reading in between the lines of he's probably going to be there for 3, 4, 5 more years if I had to guess, and then maybe go to the NFL if the NFL really wants him. But I just don't
being an NFL head coach. I really could. I don't think it would be difficult for him. He was I am a huge fan of former players that become head coaches that were leaders while they were players, kind of like DeMeco Ryans. It's why he's been so successful, and even Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell wasn't a household name when he played, but he was a leader. You see old clips of him while he was playing or even while he was like an assistant coach, and he is pushing guys to play their very best at all times.
And that's what he's doing.
He's pushing himself too.
That's what he's doing.
We'll get into that later.
Speaking of head coaches,
we kind of jinxed this because the second we filmed this, I made a joke. I said, "You watch. The second we finish filming, he's going to get hired."
And it was that night.
What happened? Yeah, literally the night while you're working
got the notification on the phone.
Yeah, Bill Belichick hired. And I'm like, well, that's old news now.
Yeah.
Mother.
I really don't know how this is going to work because I'm sorry, but if you have a kid coming in and going, "Sup, coach?" So, because I just heard a story that some transfer receiver from South Carolina walked in and was like, "Okay, I need $900,000 up front. I need 10 tickets to every game, no matter where it is. I need personal transportation. I need this. Could you imagine if you walked into Bill Belichick's office
and said, bullshit out of here.
What do you mean you need 10 tickets? I just... I don't know how
he would cuss him out of the room.
I would, and but it is. I don't know how it's gonna work. I will tune in because to me it's kind of like the Dion thing.
Yeah.
To where it's like obviously you're gonna kind of pay attention and watch.
I think they're gonna be pretty good year one. North Carolina was not in as bad of a position as Colorado was when Dion took over, and they've got money too. There's nothing stopping from Jordan Brand because we talk about Oregon all the time with Nike. What's stopping? Someone brought this up over the weekend. What's stopping Jordan from doing the exact same thing now that Belichick's there and they have a reason to grant them an unlimited NIL budget?
Yeah.
So North Carolina could be the class of the ACC now, or they're ACC. Yeah.
Also, fun kind of fact because I know Chris brought this up. There has been now I've saw 2 or 3 lacrosse players now get scholarships to play on the North Carolina football team as well as the North Carolina lacrosse team.
Huh.
So the ties of, because, he's always been a lacrosse guy and he knows, the coach there, some of the kids. So that I thought was kind of funny to where I saw that and was like, yeah, that makes sense. That's what he likes. And he's always been a lacrosse guy. So that was kind of cool, but I have no clue.
Bill Belichick, the known lacrosse guy.
I know, right? I know.
You know what's going to be great though? I look forward to the first time they get blown out.
Oh.
And I'm looking at their next year's schedule.
Yeah, and he cuts everybody.
I'm waiting for his press conference to be like, we're on to Richmond. we're on to Duke. We're on to Syracuse. We're on to Wake Forest.
That's funny.
Looking at their schedule too, this will be interesting. I mean, they play the Horned Frogs.
They play
the Charlotte 49ers, Richmond Spiders. They play the California. They play Cal.
Do they play
the
Georgia
first
Tech?
game they lose
Clemson.
that they're not
They play
supposed to
Clemson.
lose.
They play Duke. They play Stanford, Virginia, Syracuse, and Wake Forest.
No Georgia Tech?
No Georgia Tech.
Really? Huh.
So
well,
that's
you
their
never know
schedule
with
next
college football. They could end up in the conference championship
Play
against
them.
Yeah.
So
It will be interesting. It will be awesome to see. For me being a Patriots fan,
recruiting ability.
I don't. That's the thing is you just never know. You just never know. And he's come out and said, "Hey, I love football. I love doing this." So maybe he's had a little bit of a yeah. He loves yeah. That's a whole nother story. But college football playoffs round 1 start this Friday
4
and they go through
games.
Saturday. So
I think
Friday,
There's
Saturday.
one on Friday and then 3 of them are on Saturday.
Yes, the first one. Indiana.
We're picking these games too.
At Notre
this
Dame.
will be a part of our record.
So yes, these games will be part of our record. We're going to build a bracket for all 6 of our guys, and they'll be individually posted of how they think the bracket's going to go. We're not going to do it.
Are we going up to the championship winner?
We're going to go to the championship winner, and we're not going to do game by game. We're going to do like a March Madness. If Oregon loses first round and you got them winning out, that sucks. We're not going by when we're picking the semifinals and we're picking the final. We're going to go like a March Madness bracket.
Heard that.
So we're going to do that. That's going to be fun. But the first game, Indiana, Notre Dame, I guess we can kind of say who we think are going to win these games. I like this game. You like Indiana.
I do. I have no faith in Notre Dame. I think they're frauds. Most of the time they are too. So it's.
I hear you. I'm taking Notre Dame though. At home, it's going to be really. Now Indiana plays in cold weather as well. It's going to be cold. I think Notre Dame gets past the first round just because I don't trust Indiana. I think I
feel like Indiana has something to prove though.
This is true.
Their players have to feel like, their season is kind of being discounted a little bit because they lost so bad to Ohio State. So this would be your chance to remind people, hey, we were undefeated for a really long time.
Well, and you win this game, you also get to play, you play Georgia. And then if you really want to make a statement, you got to beat Georgia, and then you can play another Big Ten rival, Penn State, to go to the championship. So it's going to be very interesting. I
think Indiana.
There has never been a game in Notre Dame in December ever.
Has it really not been?
Ever. That's pretty cool.
Ever.
That's pretty fun.
So they're going to freeze their butts off, and Notre Dame is a fraud. They are going to lose.
I
think Indiana has the best chances out of this entire bracket to play the Cinderella story. Make it. That's pretty far. So I think it's going to be, I'm so excited. I can't wait. Because this is Friday night, this one.
This is, I believe, will actually be at Chris's birthday watching this game. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Saturday, SMU, Penn State, at Penn State, a Texas team traveling to Penn State, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. So this is Southern Miss, right? Southern Mississippi? Or are they in Texas?
SMU. SMU's in Texas. Yep.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Really, I thought that was
so. For take out the weather though, I think Penn State.
Well, yeah, this was Penn State had the #1 defense in college football for a while, and I think they're still top 5 in a ton of categories. There's a pass rusher on their team, Abdul Carter,
probably
going to
be a first-round draft pick.
I really want him on the Bears. He's one of 2 people that I'll take in our first-round pick.
Yeah,
I got Penn State.
I got Penn State winning this one. SMU, I don't think should have been there. I know they played good against Clemson.
They earned it, but this is
This is why I think that Penn State has the best route towards getting it to the semifinal.
Really? Southern Methodist University. I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, so I got Penn State in this one. Next one, Clemson at Texas. A lot of people are saying that this has the most upset potential of Clemson coming into Texas and being very competitive.
With who playing? Quinn Ewers or Archie Manning? I don't know if we know yet.
From the betting side of things and where all the money's going, that Clemson has the most money on them to be
you
the
think
upset
they really have a
of
chance
round
to
one.
beat Texas after what
Clemson's
they look
pissed
like in the
off right now. They're pissed.
Possible.
They've been disrespected publicly across the country. Clemson is pissed, and I don't ever want to play a team that's pissed.
And a team too that, I mean, say what you want about Dabo. He's won 2 national championships, and he knows what it takes to.
It's just someone needs to remind him that the transfer portal.
This is true. This is true. I completely agree with you. But I will say though that Clemson has the most money on them for having the upset of round 1.
Really?
And you know what that means? Vegas is 9 times out of 10 right.
Vegas Vegas likes to pull strings from behind the shadows, behind the curtains.
They do. So but to me personally, I think it's really, I like Texas. I'm going with Texas. I think you talk about a pissed off team, Texas losing to Georgia the way they did, not scoring in the red zone and losing twice. So I think you've got 2 pissed off teams. They should have won. They're at home. So I will take Texas.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, all the money's on Clemson is what I'm saying.
This next game is probably the best one of the weekend, I think. Tennessee and Ohio State. I was talking about this with someone over the weekend as well on whether Tennessee should have hosted this game, and I think they should have. I think Tennessee should have been the 6th seed based off their wins and Ohio State's losses. I think Tennessee had way more impressive wins, and Ohio State lost almost all their big matchups. They only beat Penn State.
And they lost to Michigan, and Michigan had 60 passing yards.
So, no, Tennessee should be hosting this game, and I'm picking Tennessee anyways.
I am also picking
This should be a Tennessee home game.
I am also picking Tennessee. This one, though, was the most competitive in my eyes when it comes to...
I think it'll be an incredible game, start to finish.
Which I'm happy this is the nightcap for Saturday night. So that is pretty cool that this will be... And we will bring it up, but there are also 2 NFL games going on while the SMU game and the Clemson game are going. So
football all day.
Football all day, competing I'm sure the ratings will still be what they are and be very good. But it is going to kind of be a little interesting to see what people are choosing to watch. And it's not like the NFL games are like, oh, well, is it a shitty game? Then we're not going to watch it.
Steelers,
Ravens, and the Texans and the Chiefs.
Yeah, Texans and Chiefs too.
Great games.
Yeah.
So
I'm flipping commercial breaks.
Yeah, I know. Or if you have YouTube TV where you can watch like all 4 of them on the same screen.
Yeah, well, now it's $83 a month, so I am not going to be taking part of that. I just graduated.
So, but yeah, I mean, college football round 1. They've great matchups. Like I said, Clemson I think has the most potential for an upset.
It'll be fun.
Week 15 recap of NFL.
The worst week of primetime football this season, but probably in recent memory too. Every single game sucked.
First game though,
every game.
Hold on, I just got to say it.
Oh yeah, go ahead and talk your shit.
All the 49er fans,
talk your shit.
That the Rams haven't beat us in the last time the Rams beat us. Yeah, well now they're 2-0 against you.
Did they sweep them this year?
They swept you this year.
They swept them this year. And they didn't score a touchdown in the second game. Oh
yeah, have fun watching. And we were hurt. We were injured.
So were the Rams.
Cry me a river. The Rams have dealt with so many injuries. They didn't have Puka
every
or Cooper Kupp for like 5 straight weeks. Their secondary is god awful
right now.
So I there's no more excuses for me. And Rams, let's win the division.
How many people talk crap, Dawson, on that post? That was one of your first posts, they hit like 500,000.
Yes, it was a little. I will say it's clickbait. I don't think, but I really think Dawson believed this at the start of the year.
I did.
Like, because the way they're playing right now, they play like they could beat anyone in the NFL.
They beat the Bills.
Well, that and week 1, like the Lions, before they suffered any injuries, they took them to overtime, right?
Yeah.
Overtime or the very end of the game.
Yeah.
So they have always been competitive.
I agree.
So there were 100% reasons to believe that the Rams could be that good.
There were.
You just got called a dumbass for it. And, oh wait, my favorite was you getting called a turkey.
Yeah, I got called a turkey. I got called, I mean, like I said, I got called so many things. But now awesome. They're 2-0 against the 49ers.
I will say, though, that post has 300,000 views on Instagram right now, so thank you, Dawson.
Yeah. I mean, I know a little something about it. So I hope all those people who said, oh, we'll come back to this at the end of the year, go back to it. Go back to it.
We look forward to seeing you.
Yeah, no, we won't see them. That's the thing. Though. That's the blessing.
They're too busy grieving their season like I am.
How awesome the internet is.
And you're getting ready to buy a Travis Hunter jersey.
I can't wait. The Patriots play. What? We play the Chargers and the Bills twice. We should lose all 3 of those games. We should have the 3rd overall pick again. The Raiders are picking a quarterback. Who's the other team?
Giants.
The Giants are picking a quarterback.
I've seen the Giants like. A scenario where they pay Sam Darnold and then draft Hunter.
I'd be so mad.
I'm just saying
it'd be smart for them to do it, but I'd be really mad. Yeah, so we'll see.
They need a lot more.
I will say, I will never. You won't see me have a jersey in my shopping cart faster than Travis Hunter if he gets called to the Patriots that night.
Last thing about that game, I said the 49ers season is probably over. They have players literally checking out now. Because that was a crazy story.
You want to know a funny stat that I saw?
What?
The defensive end for Cincinnati, Hubbard, has the same amount of touchdown catches as Deebo Samuel has this year.
Oh, yeah. Deebo. Wow.
Ooh.
The 49ers in general they're a dumpster fire this year. Yeah, it's not Kyle Shanahan's fault.
No, he'll still be there. I don't think he gets fired.
I don't think they fire him either.
But Rams on top, baby.
Yeah, Rams on top.
Now Seattle, Geno Smith's dealing with an injury.
Yeah, I know.
Rams, they're getting hot at the right time.
It's wide open for them.
They just won a shootout against the Bills. The Bills look like Josh Allen has a Superman cape on, and they were able to outlast that. So I like the Rams.
This game ended up coming down to the wire. I know there
way
was some controversy
than it
behind this game at the very end when the Saints were at the goal line, which was a bad beat for some bettors that took plus 6.5.
Oh, speaking of bad beats, I got another one. We talk about the Lions. Remind me.
Oh, really? Okay, well. But yeah, this one, Marshawn Lattimore's revenge game. His first game playing with the Commanders, and it was against the Saints, and he was not targeted once. Yeah. Yes,
that's why they traded for him.
The Saints were throwing a male model out there as their starting quarterback.
They started some guy I've never heard of, and then
his rookie picture. If there's a way to put this on the video, his rookie picture is so funny. It's so funny.
It's funny. Yeah, and then I know Rattler. He was in for the second half of the game, so it was just.
Yeah, I didn't watch too much of this game because I figured the outcome was going to be what happened. It ended up being decent, but Kamara got hurt in this game, and
he had a hell of a catch though in the end zone. And I will say the
Commanders needed this game, because they cannot lose games moving forward, especially because the NFC North is so dominant and they're taking up 2 wildcard spots right now and have to.
Yeah.
Because one of those 3 teams that has 10 or more wins has to win the division.
Yeah.
And the other 2 are, both of them are making the wild card. And so the Commanders are fighting for literally that last spot. Because I don't think the Packers lose again. Maybe they lose again. But the Commanders already are a game behind them right now. They have 9 wins. The Packers have 10. So it's going to be a really interesting finish for the regular season.
Yeah.
But this next one, Chiefs, Browns, we don't really have to talk about this too much. It's Mahomes got hurt. That's the only reason I put it on here. And Jameis Winston got benched. More to come on that later. But Jerry Jeudy, we talk about him for a second.
Yeah.
How he's having just a breakout year. He's 5th in the league in receiving yards right now.
Yeah, he's played
with bad quarterback play.
I would not be surprised if he was a guy that I thought was going to get traded too, before the trade deadline because
yeah.
But yeah, no,
well, he just got extended. The Browns extended him this offseason to a 3-year extension. Okay. It wasn't too much, so it's a friendly deal that a team would be willing to pay for.
Well, and you've shown, another thing, Nick Chubb broke his foot. That really sucks, coming back to what he came back last year.
Him.
But yeah, Jerry Jeudy, I think, he had that one game against the Broncos where he went for almost 300 yards against his old team. So I think he's still a very skillful receiver and talented receiver.
He's open all the time.
He just hasn't had anyone to get him the ball. And we've kind of seen that the past 4 weeks.
It really makes me wonder why the Chiefs didn't trade for him, or any other team. Like, why didn't the Ravens trade for him? Like, all these teams. Well, now the Ravens. Why are the Browns the one team that thought, hey, Jerry Jeudy might still be good?
Yeah, and even like the Ravens now dismissing Deontay Johnson from all team activities. I don't know about that guy. It seems like everywhere he goes, it's just...
If Mike Tomlin is throwing shade at you, then you know it's your fault. Yeah. Like, you're the bad guy. Like, you're the problem.
Yeah, I agree.
So I've never seen Mike Tomlin do that.
And and even the whole Mahomes thing, I think it's funny. I see people on Twitter being like, well, that's part of the ritual.
Yeah, he gets hurt at the end of every year, so he can take the last few weeks easy, so he can ready his body for the playoffs. And then come in, not a single bruise. Nope.
Why? How is he still running like that? I thought he had a grade 3 ankle sprain. What's going on here? So, this game was it was a snooze fest.
I will say the Chiefs are in trouble for these games moving forward because they play the Texans this week with Mahomes hurt, and their offense looked really weak.
Not to mention that, and I see him complaining about it, but like, boo-hoo, cry me a river, you got to turn around and play the Steelers on Christmas.
Right after.
So, I mean,
the Bears are not in a position of the Chiefs where we have 4 wins and we play 3 games in 11 days starting whenever we play next. So, boo-hoo.
Well, and the only reason...
At least you guys are going to the playoffs. I don't care.
The only reason it's being talked about as being a problem is because now he's hurt. So now
the golden boy needs a rest.
Yeah. So that's the only... But it will be, it was part of the ritual. He had to get hurt.
So funny.
And now they're gonna be fine. So
this next one though, Dolphins Texans. The Dolphins playoff chances, they needed to win this game because now I don't think they have to win out. If they lose again, I think they're out. They won't be mathematically eliminated, but
probably for the best.
The AFC, it probably is for the best because they're just gonna play a cold weather team. They're gonna be a lower seed. And they're just gonna go in and get their asses kicked.
You would have had to either play the Bills or probably the Chiefs.
Yeah. And so and apparently Tua he is infatuated with diving headfirst into people.
That was pretty funny.
Into people. It's not just, he's not diving for like the first down yard. He's like aiming for their chest, like torpedoing himself into
We were watching that game live when that play happened.
You texted me right after it happened.
Dawson will tell you. I mean, I literally screamed at the screen.
Get the fuck down! What are you doing?
You know, the problem though is I forgot that I'm pretty sure, didn't Tua sign an NIL deal with CTE?
Maybe? What?
Or maybe that's...
You probably saw that on like Barry McCockner.
No, I'm totally kidding. But I think he should be the CTE spokesperson because if he keeps diving like that, I just
Antonio Brown needs to hire him as an analyst for CTE.
They're going to start their own podcast when it's all said and done. Be quite a podcast.
There'd be a market for that. I'd tune in. Absolutely.
Next game, Bucks Chargers. Bucks are really good, dude. With all the injuries they have. If you gave them back, their safeties.
Give them back Chris Godwin. Winfield has been hurt all year, and their secondary's been banged up in general.
Yeah, the Bucks are and we've seen that, and they're
they're winning this division. Well, so I won't give them the division yet because we're going to talk about this later. The Falcons have hope finally.
They do have a little bit of hope,
and it comes in the form of a lefty.
They also have hope, as in they have a big lead still in that division to where all they have to do is have the same amount of wins as them, and they win all the tiebreakers.
Talking about the Falcons?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, so as it stands right now, because I think they have 7, the Bucks have 8, so they do need the Bucks to lose at least once, and they can't lose again.
Yeah.
And then...
So it's going to be an interesting to settle that division. It kind of sucks because that was my prediction that but the Falcons completely imploded. I mean, it was their division to lose.
Kirk Cousins imploded. Yeah. I don't...
But to round out about the Bucks, they beat, I think, a good really Chargers
good
team.
I didn't think the Bucks had 0 chance to win whatsoever. I thought it was going to be a close game. Yeah, no, I didn't think they were going to blow them out.
Because the Chargers defense has been the highest scoring defense.
Yeah, they were the number 1 scoring defense for like the first, I want to say
7, 8, 9 weeks.
Longer. It was like 11 or 12 weeks they were the number 1. And so doing this, the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
I will not count them out of any game for.
I agree.
Like any game this season.
Mike Evans is also. I think
he's close to getting 1,000.
He's I think like 320.
And they have 3 games left.
Yeah, like 320 yards away from.
He had like
from
160 this past game.
Yeah, he had a really good game last week.
He's awesome.
Next one, Bills Lions. This game was awesome.
I remember Bills were dominant.
I was at dinner and I said, if this is the Super Bowl. 48-42.
My dad said this would be the highest scoring Super Bowl ever
awesome.
if these teams play
regardless
each other.
of who wins. If that was the Super Bowl,
I would be happy.
I'd be happy.
I hope it happens. I really do.
Like almost 100 points in one game. Like that's awesome.
You think Josh Allen is happy about getting engaged though? Because since he's been engaged, the last 3 weeks,
insane.
14 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards, 0 turnovers.
Hey, it's really amazing.
He's the MVP.
What the right girl can do for you in your life.
Are you listening, Haley?
I'm telling you, dude.
Your man is pouring his heart out to you.
It's living proof right here. And I'm a Patriots fan, and it pains me to watch Josh Allen doing this, especially the next 3 weeks. I got to watch him beat the shit out of my team 2 times. So it does, but it's hard not to like the guy.
Yeah.
It's just hard.
Really is.
He has a good attitude. He has a really good personality.
Yeah.
I feel like it's easy to like kind of connect with him. And I really like him. I really do. He's a good guy.
He's a frat guy at heart.
I think he is. And where did he go to school? He went to Wyoming.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
All he was doing.
So I just looked up his fiance.
Slinging darts.
I can see why he's winning so many games.
Yeah, Haley Steinfeld.
She's not exactly ugly to look at.
Well, and she's also a great actor and has been in a lot of movies. So they're living life to the fullest right now.
Doing whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
And it's the Lions on the other side are just decimated by just injuries over and over again. I'm just looking. 16 defensive players on IR.
It's going to be really hard.
16 defensive players, and most of them were starters or played a lot. And then now David Montgomery is potentially out for the year. But so I was so close to counting them out. But we just listened to this before we started recording. This speech by Dan Campbell immediately after all this happened, when he was getting asked, how the team's going to respond. We have to listen to this for a second.
You know what happens is, you win 11 in a row, and you lose, and then the sky falls. And I hate to say it, but we're not going to be able to win 11 in a row again for the rest of this season. We're just not going to be able to do it. And, what happens is you get used to eating filet, and I'm talking to all of us, and everything's good. Life's good, but you forgot what it was like when you had nothing and you ate your molded bread, and it was just fine, and it gave you everything you needed. And sometimes you got to get punched in the mouth and remember what it used to be like to really appreciate where you are. And we'll do that. And so we got a bad taste in our mouth. We got kicked around the other day. We lost a few guys. And you know what? It's exactly what we needed. This is exactly what we needed. So we're going to bounce back. We're going to respond. We got guys that are about to have an unbelievable opportunity here. And we will play the game any way needed to win. We still got a good offense. We got plenty of defensive players. I can go rattle them off right now. We're going to put the best 11 on the field. We're going to freaking cut it loose. We're going to play with our special teams. And I don't give a crap if we got to win by 1 point for the rest of the year. That's what we're going to do. And I'm going to be happy about it. We come out of the game with 50 yards of total offense and we win by 1, you're going to see smiles on my face. I promise you. All right. If it's the other way defensively, we give up 700 yards and we win by 1 point, you're going to see a smile from my ear to ear. All right. I can promise you. So we're going to find a way and we're going to get it done.
I would run through a brick wall for that man. It makes me want to jump out this window listening to that.
It explains why.
I'll do whatever you want.
It really does explain why they have the team that they have. I mean, it starts from the top down.
Can we have 32 of him, please, for every single team? Doesn't even have to be the head coach. Just he needs to be in the locker room of every single team.
So my bad beat, though. My bad bet.
Oh, yeah.
So I saw this. David Montgomery's season-long rush was 775.5.
And he finished with 775.
And he finished with 775.
And so that's regular season, right? That doesn't count playoffs? Or if he comes back for like a Super Bowl and rushes for 1 yard and gets hurt again?
That's if he... No, yeah, it counts for the whole season. That's what.
Season.
Yeah,
so
the whole
he
season.
can come back in.
So
the
he
Super
can,
Bowl.
and get 1
like
yard.
Are you serious, Clark?
I would be if I had him for a parlay or something. I would literally be emailing.
Imagine that's your last leg.
Come on, just put him out there. I don't care if he doesn't have a leg. I don't care if he can't walk. I just need 1 more yard.
You're like
Please.
me, and you took Saquon's yards. You took Derrick Henry's touchdowns. And then you had, David Montgomery as your last leg, and you were gonna hit. And then,
to touch on that, I've kind of let you down with the season-long bet because all of yours have.
Are they? Well, Caleb still. Needs
Caleb
to hit.
is. Caleb probably won't. He's kind of now behind pace. But you had
Saquon, Derrick Henry.
You had Saquon. You had Derrick Henry. Did you have Bijan too, or was Bijan mine?
I think that was you. We each did 3. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so you had Caleb, Henry, and Saquon. Henry and Saquon were amazing.
Smashing them.
Caleb probably not. I don't think Kyle Pitts is going to get it. I had him at 5 touchdowns. He's at 3.
I'm not even counting Kyle Pitts.
Well, that's true because now we have. This is also true.
There's so much potential. Like I have a reason to actually tune into a Falcons
4-game
game
touchdown incoming for him.
I hope.
So yeah, that could be interesting, but it's and then Cooper Kupp, him being hurt for as long as he does, we had him kind of
donut that he put up for me in my fantasy.
Let me tell
playoffs.
you though, I had Cooper in my one league that I made it to the playoffs in. It was the semifinal because it's only a 10-man, 0 points. But I had Brian Jr. for the Jaguars in my flex.
Oh, Brian Thomas.
Brian Thomas, sorry.
Yeah, 32 points.
32 points, was able to carry me to the championship, even with Cooper, I forgive you.
I don't.
I need you
never drafting
back
you again,
for this
Cooper.
week in the championship to kind of prove to me that there's a good reason why I picked you in the 3rd round. I need you. The fellow white guy needs my fellow white receiver this week for the championship.
Grit, high motor, strong hands. That's what we need to see.
Come on, I just need
Catch
something.
Everything.
Just give me at least 10 points at least, not a 0, please. Please, because that's my only team that I made to the playoffs this year. I need you. I need you. But yeah, I mean, I look back to round out Josh Allen. I think MVP.
It's not a discussion. I know Lamar just had a great game, but his great game was against the Giants, and Josh Allen's great game was against the Lions. And he's had other great games just like this.
He's had a stretch, like we just said, of you are playing your best football when it matters.
And
most.
yes, he played a shit game against the Ravens in like week 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's
fine. It's fine.
Steelers, Eagles. George
Pickens. The Steelers' offense is so one-dimensional if you don't have George Pickens on the field.
Yeah.
The Eagles' defense is going to be really tough to score against in the playoffs, but Steelers need Pickens back.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah, I agree. And this game kind of really took a turn to when Harris fumbled that pitch. And after that kind of happened, it was just kind of downhill from there.
Yep.
I will say, though, the Eagles took advantage or played against a very good defense, and Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown really took it personal, as in, okay, if this is what you guys want to see, let's do it. And I'll be the first one to admit, I gave him criticism. But it was I think, valid criticism to what we were seeing. But, I mean, A.J. Brown, and they did their thing. Jalen Hurts did his thing. Devontae Smith did his thing. Saquon has kind of cooled off a little bit.
They haven't really needed him much.
All of a sudden.
He's had such of a good year that it's like, now
60 yards on 15 carries isn't good enough.
The threat of him being on the field is enough to take defenses' eyes off of receivers. So he doesn't really need to. Yes, he'll still have great games moving forward, but
no,
he's needed to be great.
He's
been great when he needed to be.
If they go to the Super Bowl, if they make a deep playoff run, Saquon, I guarantee you, mark it down, will be the most valuable player on that team to do that.
100%.
100%. So to me, it's not a big deal that he's kind of cooled off a little bit from running for 150 yards a game to 60 or 70.
Yep. These last 3 games, to round out the shitty week of primetime football we had, we can probably move past these pretty quick because the Packers
beat the Seahawks. Geno Smith is hurt.
They looked
Packers
really,
really good.
Yeah.
Bears, this game was just not fun
End
to
the
watch.
season early.
Yeah,
Please.
the Vikings are good though.
Take me out back. Tell me to look at the flowers. Tell me it's going to be okay.
What's that book that we all read in high Lenny?
The Bears.
Falcons, Raiders. This game was
also bad.
Also very bad.
Also bad.
But
Kirk Cousins looked horrible.
We will talk about this though. Now the Falcons have come out and said that
we can make this our first NFL news. Yeah.
Yeah. So Falcons starting Penix for the rest of the year.
News came out as I was writing the script last night. Yes. I saw this. My jaw dropped. I was like, "There's no way." Well, I didn't think that they would actually do this.
So, and I know I've been kind of a fan and a supporter of Kirk Cousins. The problem that I have with in saying, well, you shouldn't have drafted Penix. I never said you shouldn't have drafted Penix.
Shouldn't have signed Kirk if you're gonna draft Penix.
If this was your plan,
don't sign him to a 4-year deal.
Now you look stupid for having a quarterback.
You have $180 million tied
for
to him
$45 million a year.
Yeah.
When you were so scared of falling into the same quarterback trap that you have been the past couple of years.
Arthur Blank's got to feel so just silly and like betrayed.
But is it him to blame or is it the GM?
I'm saying that because he had to sign off on that move.
Yeah.
Both moves, and he got talked into it. Because you can see in the draft video before they take Penix, him and the GM are in the corner like having a conversation. It looks
and
like
I know they kind of said, no, it wasn't anything.
It was
like
100% what was going on.
Yeah.
Arthur Blank was like, I just paid this guy $180 million, and you're going to give me another guy that's going to be guaranteed not more money, but top 10 rookie money.
if it pans it. And that was my whole argument to where I know, Jack, you're going to hear this because you like to keep your receipts on Penix out of all the things that you say that is in whatever. I know you feel very strong, but I never said that I don't think Penix is a good quarterback. I said, why are you taking him when you just signed a guy? But now people, this is why. Well,
you didn't know this.
You didn't know this was going to happen.
I said this last week. This is worst case scenario for the Falcons. You're paying this guy all this money, and you're still having to have a conversation about benching him.
Yeah.
And starting the guy that you not wasted, but utilized
because you were terrified of having this happen, and now it's happened, and
it's happening.
You feel smart, like, oh, see, this is why we did it.
They backed themselves into a corner. It's really, and then another QB bench, it's Jameis Winston. Kind of not a surprise. It hurts my heart because Jameis Winston is such just an awesome human being.
He should be in the Hall of Fame just for his,
you guys though. You gotta go back though and talk about Atlanta. So it is an Atlanta problem. Okay, the Falcons. I mean, look at the article that came out about Belichick when he was trying to get hired last year.
Yeah.
And it is Terry Fontenot, the GM. Yeah. Their issues. I'm pretty sure Arthur Blank must be best buddies with Jerry Jones because these two organizations are.
I think Arthur Blank's that bad.
They must be friends, but it's the organization.
Well, the difference that I see, if you're going to compare it to the Cowboys, is I think Arthur Blank is willing to give some trust and some, hey, I trust you to make the decisions best for the team. To where with the Cowboys, Jerry Jones will die on a hill regardless of.
He's never wrong.
He's never wrong.
Whether it's trading a fourth for Jonathan Mingo and him having like 3 targets since they traded for him.
Targets.
I don't think I'm wrong about that either.
You're probably no, I will say though, they're playing, I think, okay.
They're playing better. They beat the Panthers last week.
No, the Panthers though.
They've been playing better,
but to say
Bryce Young, I don't know. I agree. We can touch on them because we didn't talk about their game.
Micah Parsons had a field day with that team.
Micah Parsons. I mean, he just a game wrecker.
Yeah, and it made sense because the Panthers were in passing situations the whole game, and he was just take the leash off and go, and that's what he did.
And then this last one, I don't know how I feel about this. I saw this also while I was writing the script last night that the Bears apparently have Mike Vrabel at the top of their head coaching list. The other 3 names, there are 4 names in total that apparently they plan on giving interviews. There may be more that come out later, but Mike Vrabel is at the top, and then you have Ben Johnson, Joe Brady, the Bills offensive coordinator, and then Liam Cohen, the Buccaneers offensive coordinator. So out of those, I think
it really just
I want it to be between Ben Johnson and Joe Brady, but I don't hate Mike Vrabel.
I don't either.
Just because he is a leader.
Yeah.
Like I was just talking about it earlier that he would I like head coaches that are former players and that were leaders while they played.
He was 1 game away from the Super Bowl playing against Mahomes in Kansas City at one point.
So I don't hate it. I really don't. But that needs to come with a great offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And the only reason that I'm okay with Vrabel is because of how I feel about Caleb and him moving forward, because I do think Caleb is enough to drive an offensive coordinator to, want to work here. But you put everyone else that we should supposedly have on offense, we do have that just aren't getting used right or, bought out on the season just because, it's a dumpster fire right now. But there's potential for next year. They need to get this head coach right.
Yeah.
the players would immediately want to play for Mike Vrabel. Like, immediately. They would come into off-season workouts ready to play. And not only that, free agents would want to come and play for him, too. Like, he's got a ton of respect around the league. He didn't know. I don't think anybody. It was a shock to
me that he wasn't hired as a head coach.
Just what I was about to say. Like, I don't think anybody thought he deserved to be fired from Tennessee. Yeah. Not even close.
Yeah.
I think Tennessee deserves to be as shit as they are right now for firing him.
Yeah. I agree.
So it'll be interesting because that's going to start the second the season ends.
Yeah. Well, and I think
the regular season.
I'd be now that Belichick has gone too. I think it would it would shock me, like really, really be like, holy, like there's maybe something going on or
blackballed,
something. Or Mike Vrabel will be a head coach again.
I think so.
I really do think so. NFL Week 16. We are going to go over Week 16, and we are going to touch on
the Christmas games.
So, because we will not.
I'll ask you this just on air, while we have a chance to talk about it, because we normally do the primetime picks. We pick games that have their own significant time slot. And
so we kind of can't control it.
There's Christmas, but there are also, after Christmas, there's a Thursday night game. The Bears play on Thursday night.
Yeah.
And then the Chargers and the Patriots is on Saturday in its own time at 1 o'clock. The Broncos and Bengals also play Saturday, and the Cardinals and Rams. So it's a 1 o'clock, 4:30, and 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's a lot of games, but those aren't necessarily good games. So that's why I'm asking.
I mean,
you fine with just picking the Christmas games and the Thursday night?
Let's just do.
And then Sunday, Saturday.
For
Sunday,
now,
Monday?
let's just do the Christmas games.
Okay.
And if we want to, just because
we'll
the season's coming down
Sunday
to an
and
end,
Monday
we
too,
can
because those are. We'll get to that. Those are some good games.
Are you sure we're going to be able to watch the Christmas games? I mean, I'm not allowed to say. Going to be able to pull this off?
I'm not allowed to say on YouTube why I can watch those games, but I will be watching those games.
Well, that's if Netflix figures out how to stream an event.
I know, but last time we saw something go on Netflix, it didn't work for like half the show.
Yeah, the spinner of death, like the Logan Paul fight and the Tyson fight was terrible.
The Jake Paul fight.
It was terrible.
Yes.
So
hopefully
who knows?
They have those kinks figured out. But this isn't the first time they've done Netflix NFL, right? They did that last year.
I can't remember.
But anyways, we'll move on to the games.
Yes, move on to the games. First one, Thursday night, Broncos, Chargers.
Good matchup.
We are picking this one.
I'm taking the Broncos.
Conference, I'm taking the Broncos.
Yeah. I think after how the Chargers looked last week, and I think it's a short week. Yes, the Chargers are at home, but the Broncos
look good.
They handled business.
I wish you would have kept your
to.
prediction at the beginning of the year.
I know. I had literally it's in our notes that I thought about putting the Broncos in the playoffs, and I had them in the playoffs.
I was the one who kind of looked at you and was like, "Okay, we're getting way too crazy now. What do you mean? What do you mean?" I kind of was, so I'll take blame for it that I was the one to convince you. But I really wish I wouldn't have, because you did.
I was really right about them.
You really were.
I thought that they were going to be a sleeper team. I thought that they were not getting enough credit at all, and they still aren't. They're really good, and they play the Chiefs again, I think, in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
that was because you didn't want to get blamed for doing clickbait, right? Wasn't that what?
Yeah, that was before I gave, that was while I gave a shit.
Yeah, because everybody thought you were clickbaiting the Rams, beating the 49ers, and obviously it worked. And you didn't want everybody to think that you guys were just saying this stuff just to get.
Turns out maybe we know ball, guys.
You know a little something.
Maybe that we wanted to start the sports podcast because we're knowledgeable.
Maybe know a little something. Next one, like we mentioned, these games are on Saturday, so they're going to be competing with. Yeah, if Mahomes doesn't play, because they're going to save him for Christmas.
I think I'm taking the Texans regardless.
I'll take the Texans. Even if Mahomes plays with a hobble foot and all.
Yeah, ankle sprain. Texans, I didn't know this. The Texans lead the league in sacks.
Oh,
and the Chiefs' offensive line has been
really bad.
It's been pretty bad. Not their interior. Their interior has been fine. But the reason the Texans have all these sacks is their edge rushers, and that's the Chiefs' issue.
Yeah.
So, and that I was saying that at the start of the year, that if they come into this game and lose it, it's going to be because of that. And that story has stayed true for most of the year. I think Texans need this win because it's no guarantee.
I think they won their division, though.
Did they?
Against the Dolphins? I want to say they did. I could be wrong, or it could be very close.
The Colts and the.
Because the Colts lost because they played the Broncos. They lost
never
the
mind.
Broncos.
So this is really just a pride game then. I mean, everyone wants to beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'd like to see them lose.
I would too.
This next one, another Saturday game, Steelers Ravens.
Huge division game. This is either going to be really low scoring or really high
I'm taking the Ravens.
I'm going to take the Ravens as well. They're at home. Steelers. If George Pickens doesn't play, TJ Watt is hurt with an ankle. So I will take the Ravens. I like the Ravens.
Yep. And then this next one, it was not on our list until, I mean, we're not picking it, but it's worth talking about Penix's debut against the Giants. And that is my bet of the week for when we get into that later.
Unfortunately, his yards has not been posted, but whenever they do, we will update them.
Yep.
Yeah, Falcon, it's in it. This would be a fun game to go to.
I know.
It's too bad we couldn't.
It sucks that he got announced as the starter like 4 days before the game.
Why don't we go?
Yeah. Well,
why can't we go?
I'll be driving to Chicago
he'll be
on
driving
Sunday.
to Chicago.
Otherwise, I would be so down to go.
Yeah, this would be a fun one to go
that
to.
Would be fun.
Just to see Penix.
Yeah.
And it seems like every time we do go to a game, there's
fireworks.
Like 500.
When I went to Chicago, I was at week 1 of the Tennessee game. We went to the Thursday night game, Falcons-Bucks.
Yeah. So
we apparently
talk about a fall from glory, though, because we got to see Cousins throw over 500 yards, and now it looks like the guy's never played football before.
We saw his peak. We saw Kirko Chains in person.
Hey, we saw it.
And then he slowly faded away. We
saw it.
Yep, we got to see it.
Next one, Eagles Commanders. This is another one that we talked about for a long time.
I've been waiting for this matchup. I need, especially now that
Marshawn
Lattimore's
This is the second time.
Oh yeah,
now Marshawn Lattimore's playing. I still like the Eagles. We're not picking it because it's not prime time.
I'd say I like the Eagles too.
I say I like the Eagles.
I don't count the Commanders out though, because Marshawn Lattimore, like I was saying, he didn't get targeted once last week. Yes, better quarterback, better offense in general being played, but Marshawn Lattimore is Marshawn Lattimore, and Commanders defense is playing. They've been playing much better as of recent, and so it'll be a great game.
Vikings Seahawks.
Vikings, another good one.
If Geno Smith doesn't play, that will
I think
suck.
the Vikings win this regardless. The Vikings are so good.
Vikings are very good on both sides of the ball, and they have so many weapons.
A team that I was completely wrong about too.
I wouldn't say wrong. I would say no one talked about them. Like no one. If you weren't a Vikings fan, you kind of just didn't bat an eye to it, and now look at them.
A rebuild team isn't supposed to be 12-2.
That's true. Well, so is it a rebuild year? Can we call it a rebuild year?
This isn't officially a rebuild year for them. They said it was. Yeah. They traded off their franchise quarterback. They did not expect this to happen.
Yeah. I went into the season knowing they had a good O-line, but I had so many questions about their defense. That was my main issue, and we knew that their receiver, like their offense in general, was good. They just needed,
They signed kind of an older running back in Jones and Aaron Jones, so you never really knew what you were going to get with him, and he's been great.
Now they're sitting at 12-2
in the best division in football right now.
Yeah. So I can pretty much all but guarantee that next year's Hard Knocks in season is going to be the NFC North. Like it's not even a discussion.
Yeah.
They're going to follow that whole division because hopefully the Bears are better and these 3 teams aren't going anywhere.
It's too bad they wouldn't just do I know it'd be really hard, but you could do every team or highlight kind of.
Or if every team did their, like what the Chiefs do with the franchise, that they release them on YouTube and it follows, like they just film their own stuff and they record, stuff during the week and in game. Yeah. Every team could do that.
People would watch it.
Oh, absolutely. They would eat that shit up. Yeah. I would. Yeah. I would watch it. If the Bears did that, I would watch it every week.
Even if it wasn't the Bears, I would watch. Yeah. If it was on and it was just, 20, 30 little minute episodes and I had nothing to do, just watch of the Vikings, watch of the Steelers, or watch of, whatever it was.
This next game I put on here just because both teams need to win this game. This is going to be, I think it might end up being one of the more competitive games of the week just because of what it means for both teams. So 49ers at Dolphins, both sitting at 6-8. You lose again, you're probably out of the playoffs. Just thinking of all the other teams that can make it over you. So I don't know who wins this one. I would say I lean the Dolphins because they're at home. The Niners are just beat up. There's so much going wrong with the Niners right now. I can't pick them unless they're playing my team, apparently.
Yeah. It was kind of a little bit of a trap game for your team after getting smacked by the Bills. And
what do you think, Chris? I mean, at home, you need to win this game.
Guys, I always pick the Dolphins. The Dolphins will beat the 49ers, unlike the Bears when they couldn't figure out how to beat them.
We can't do anything. I think we're so bad.
This Sunday night, this one, you never know. Sunday Night Football in Dallas.
Yeah.
I like the Bucs, though.
I like the Bucs,
Cowboys have been playing better. Cooper Rush has made some really good throws, actually, last week. For one to the touchdown.
Still don't know why we're not seeing Trey Lance.
I don't either. That was another stupid trade.
Sitting away on the bench.
For no reason.
Would they give another 4th-round pick for him?
Something like that.
Maybe even higher.
Something like that. And that's probably why the 49ers just was like, yeah, I'll take him.
Cowboys are such a joke. And another Monday night kind of non-competitive game. Saints at Packers.
In
another
Lambeau,
easy pick. Packers.
Packers are gonna.
You're telling me a team in Louisiana that plays in a dome is going to go up to Green Bay in December and beat them?
With I don't even know who their quarterback is. If it's not Spencer Rattler,
yeah, I'm good. I'm good on that.
Josh Jacobs could have a. If you have Josh Jacobs in your playoffs for fantasy wise,
I don't know why I didn't take him.
This could be a very good week for you matchup wise to win your game. And he's on Monday night, so you're gonna know going into it how many points you need.
Yep.
I could see him going for 2-3 touchdowns like he has the past couple weeks.
And to talk about the Christmas games, first one we get at 1:00. It's Chiefs at Steelers. I can't wait for this game. I hope if Pickens is out on Saturday, I hope it means that he's playing on Wednesday. Yes, it's in Pittsburgh.
I'm going to go with the Steelers.
Yes, there we go. I'm going Steelers too.
I'm going to go with the Steelers. I like
you hear that, Steelers fan? A Patriots fan is on your side this time.
Yeah, it pains me.
He is finally he's found the one team that he can pick against.
It pains me a little bit. Hey, I've given a lot of credit to the Steelers though this year.
Yeah, you have.
I really have.
You have.
It's maybe taken a lot, but I have given them credit. I like the Steelers though. If Mahomes doesn't play and they say to rest him for Christmas, like you said though, their offensive line on their tackles.
TJ Watt will be rested.
TJ
Watt.
Well,
I don't want to say rested because I think he'll still go on Saturday, so he'll still be banged up.
But that defense is great.
Well, they've been getting Alex Highsmith is back and playing now. They have Herbig who's been playing good. The linebacker they took out of Wisconsin this year, Peyton Wilson's playing good. Minka's always good. I mean, but Dante Jackson's on that team. Joey Porter I've been seeing a lot about him. Make penalties over and over, holding, grabbing. So, I mean, if you play the Chiefs, they like throwing flags more than anyone. So just don't grab them.
Wear red gloves.
White gloves.
White gloves. Yeah.
Well, actually, no, they will be in. They'll be in red.
They'll be in red because home's white. So just wear red gloves. They won't see it. That's what. Yeah, that's what they all say.
Ravens, Texans.
Ravens, Texans.
Give me the Ravens.
I'm gonna take the Ravens.
I think so.
I think if the Texans,
if they were fully healthy, they just so many.
If the Texans go in and beat Kansas City this Saturday,
it's going to be hard to pick against them, but
I don't know if they go in and beat the Ravens, though, back-to-back weeks.
Well, it'll be at Houston.
I'm still going to go with the Ravens. I like the Ravens.
I probably do, too. Yeah.
Because Lamar kind of cancels out the way that they can rush the quarterback a little bit, I think, with how mobile Lamar is. So that maybe might not
and
play.
You have to worry about Derrick Henry, too. So it's not like you can sell out on the pass.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Never.
So I'll take the Ravens in that. I like the Ravens.
Thursday night game. God, my deficit is becoming bigger and bigger because I keep having to pick the Bears. Seahawks at Bears. Thursday night football. Give me the Bears. Fuck.
And I would assume that Geno Smith will be
fine. You can't take the Bears.
I'm too
Seattle's
loyal.
going to win. You cannot take your team.
I will assume that Geno Smith is going to play.
Too loyal.
So I'll take the Seahawks. I like the Seahawks.
The Bears.
Give me the Bears. Give me the Bears. To go into our bets of the week.
Wait, no, actually, we still have Sunday night. Not so fast. Hold your horses because this game got flexed into Sunday night football. Falcons at Commanders is awesome. Awesome. Especially if Penix plays good this
It's hard
week.
to pick this one because we're just guessing that Penix is going to...
Merry Christmas. I'm going with the Commanders. At home, I'm taking the Commanders.
Do you think it's going to be tough for the offensive line of the Falcons to all of a sudden go to a left-handed quarterback?
Oh, because now the right tackle becomes more important.
Yeah, you look at the way the Dolphins the Dolphins are built for a left-handed quarterback.
The Falcons have a better right tackle. Their right tackle has been, I think, what's that? That's Jake Matthews, right? Yeah, they'll be fine. That might actually help them more.
I think, and it's not like Penix is Lamar, and all of a sudden he's going to be running around for like a chicken with his head cut off. So I think
he's a pocket passer. He's had 3 knee surgeries.
Yeah,
he's not sprinting around the field. He is fast still.
Yeah, he can move better than Kirk. I agree,
Absolutely.
But it's not like he's Lamar, doing what he's doing.
I would compare him to a Deshaun Watson kind of play style before Watson got hurt the first time.
I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to say that Penix is going to go 2-1. In these last 3 games.
I think he's going to look good.
They've got to win out.
Yeah, they do have to win out because right now they're relying on Tampa losing one more.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to make a wild card.
You got to win out and you got to have Tampa lose.
They have to win this game because Washington is the wild card. They're the last wild card spot. So this is a huge game for the Falcons. Like maybe the biggest of the season.
Because of that, I'm taking Washington.
Yep, I'm taking them too.
Because of that, I'm taking Washington.
And then this last one is a little bit easier of a pick. Lions at 49ers. I'm taking the Lions.
Yeah,
So,
I'll take the Lions.
Browns,
regardless of the injuries, I'll take the Lions.
It should be a pretty decent game still because the Lions are so hurt. But we'll see how they look this week because after that speech, seriously, that speech that Dan Campbell had talking about how this was exactly what they needed and that this was gonna set the season right and they just needed to be reminded of where they came from. I hope that they end up looking how they have all season. Like imagine that they go into this week that they play and then just dismantle the Bears. I mean, which, wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world. I didn't put the game on the list for a reason because I don't think it's going to be close. But they could look even better. Like the last time they played the Bears, they gave them a game.
Yeah. Another guy, too, that I would, because I know, fantasy playoffs. Another guy
Gibbs.
If you have Jahmyr Gibbs right now and you're in the playoffs.
I was so wrong about Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm sorry, man. I did not.
Well, and it's not like we said that he was going to be terrible.
No, I knew it. I just didn't think that he was going to get the numbers that everyone thought he was going to have taking him at the end of the first round because they split reps. But even with splitting reps.
That's what I was just about to say. If you look at how many touches he does, if you just looked at that.
30 or 40
you'd go,
less touches.
I was right. They was split. You kind of wasted.
But then you look at the yards and the touchdowns.
Yes, and it's like, well, that was kind of an anomaly to where it didn't matter how many touches. But if you have him going into the playoffs right now with Montgomery now being out,
he's going to give you like 40.
He's going to give you 40 and walk you to the championship. He's going to have like
180 yards, 2 touchdowns, a couple catches, 60 receiving yards.
More than a couple.
So Dylan, it was fun. We've got to see Jahmyr Gibbs play in high school.
Gibbs went to Dalton
went to Dalton. There was a game though where Dawson caught a ball over the middle.
Oh yeah, we can show that.
And he
clip.
Started streaking down. We don't really. It's a short clip. He's streaking down the field. All of a sudden, Gibbs playing corner defense because he played both ways in high school.
Jahmyr Gibbs was
he turns around and chases Dawson down.
My ass.
Where
stripped me too. I fumbled on the play.
He's so fast. That dude is fast.
Yeah, he was an awesome.
We'll roll the clip right now. This is Dawson's 5 seconds of fame.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. So
you were running hard.
I'm a Lions fan. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I think Gibbs is an awesome player. He's an awesome guy. He is from around here.
I don't think we knew that we were going up against him, even while he was, because we didn't. I don't think we even knew that.
We knew he was really good.
Bama. I don't think we knew that.
Well, he went to Georgia Tech and then transferred to Bama.
Okay,
that's originally where
he did go to Georgia Tech first. That's right. Okay,
so we knew of him, and I remember game planning and this kid's really good. He plays both sides of the ball. He's really fast. He's really this.
He was number 1, right?
Yeah, he was number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1. He was a great player.
Number
great
1's normally pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's normally the best. That's normally who the best player is. They wear number 1.
Hey guys, before you close up this show, I just want to say congratulations. It's been a fantastic year. You guys said you wanted to do this. You did it.
Happen.
You put this thing together, and it's been great.
You put this thing together, Chris.
Well,
not us.
Just a part of it. You guys are the
Dawson's
show.
The mastermind.
It's been fun, and this is the first year.
It's been a group effort to everyone.
Yeah,
so
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and looking forward to next year. Looking forward to the off season.
Looking forward to a ton of stuff. We got interviews lined up. We'll start discussing that. Moving forward. Once football's out of season, a lot of what we talk about opens up. I mean, football is really half of what we talk about on the show, just because it's so prevalent right now.
Yeah,
so a lot of cool stuff coming.
A lot of good stuff
excited.
planned. A lot of good stuff planned. A lot of good stuff. To wrap it up, though, bet of the week. Let's win some money.
Give me Michael Penix.
Let's pay for some Christmas presents.
Have 2 goddamn player props all year. I'm gonna go crazy. How are you this bad? How am I this bad at picking?
You kind of got screwed last week with Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson.
He had a really good game.
The week before that, I picked.
Yeah.
God, James Cook was the only person on the Bills that didn't go off.
Yeah.
I can't catch a break. I'm just going to start taking Josh Allen every time touchdown, every single week. And I'd be 17-0 right now, 16-0, whatever it is.
That's funny.
God. But yes, give me Michael Penix over passing yards.
There's no line out right now.
Whatever it is, I would guess it's probably going to be around 220.
Probably 215, 220 if I had to guess.
So yes, give me over.
I've got Kyron Williams. They are playing. Oh, who are they playing again? They are playing the Jets. The Jets have given up a lot of yards to a lot of guys.
On the ground, especially. 83.5 is high, but
I like Kyler. I picked him a couple weeks ago.
He was the only reason they won last week. I mean, he had over 100 scrimmage yards.
Yes, and even to a game that was very low scoring, they're gonna feed him the ball.
12-6.
I really like Kyron Williams this week to go over that number. It's a little high for rushing yards. Normally, I kind of stay away from the high rushing guys. So you want to know
something I noticed on our graphic last week for the player props? The first time this season that you guys repeated a pick.
It was the first time.
2 people took the same player. That was the first time it had happened all year. Not on purpose. That just happened that way.
Both had St. Brown. Yeah, because normally it's...
Everybody took someone different throughout the year. All 6 of us.
Yeah, and
it's crazy to think.
I put in mine before I get anyone else's.
Same here.
So I put in me and Dylan's, and I don't even know Dylan's coming into this.
Yep.
I mean, this is the first
just leave
time
it on the script.
Yeah, But it was the first time in 15, and I thought it was going to happen way sooner.
Took 15 weeks.
15 weeks for one of us to put the same player, same prop too. It's not like it was the same player, different,
just different lines.
It was different lines. It was straight up yards, so that was
and you both hit.
Pretty funny. They did. He had 180 and I think a touchdown.
Maybe I should have just copied you.
If you look back, I said he was going to have like 150 yards and a touchdown. So that was
beat that even.
I beat that. But no, yes, like we said, thank you guys for a awesome first half of the year.
Everybody wish Dawson a happy birthday real quick, because we will not be recording until then, but we've got Christmas next Wednesday. 3 days after that, we got Dawson's birthday.
We've got Chris's birthday
coming up,
the 20th, Friday?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, this is a great time to be happy. And
then we have New Year's right after.
And then we have New Year's.
Yep.
And then straight into the new year.
What do you think we'll be filming New Year's Day, or are we going to push that back?
We got playoffs coming. We also have this new golf league.
Yeah, with Tiger Woods.
This golf league is going to be
We'll have to
awesome.
talk about that a little bit. We'll have to talk about
the clips that are coming
out
of it have looked really, really cool, really, really awesome. So that will be interesting. And it's coming out at a time to where sports kind of takes a dip, so it'll be something for people to watch. So they did a great job of scheduling that.
Yeah.
Where it is. So that will be fun. But yes, enjoy the holidays, spend time with, whoever you decide to spend time with, and enjoy every little moment, because you never know. And happy holidays from the i75Live crew, Dawson, Dylan, Chris,
yes, sir,
over sitting at his microphone.
Happy New Year as well.
Just have a great time, have great holidays, and we will see you guys next year.
And real quick, since we're here, go ahead and give us it is, since it's a giving season, go ahead and give this video a like. Maybe go ahead and follow us on social medias, subscribe to the YouTube, and we are on Spotify now.
We are on Spotify
for the full episodes, and give us all of your thoughts in the comments, because we like responding to you guys. But yes, as Dawson said, we'll see you next year.
Happy holidays.
Yes, sir. It's been real, guys.